What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. Let's go ahead and take a look at XRP as it dumps out like crazy, guys, from this top side of about $2 and just about 62 cents, right? So I'm not sure if you actually are keeping up with the news or anything like that, right, guys? But this is kind of what happened at that moment. This was announced here that President Trump signs the executive order to establishing the strategic crypto reserve. This kind of did some news here, right? So this was just about 2 hours ago, and it kind of it kind of dumped out the market right there, guys. So I'm wondering here if this is going to affect price action in the more immediate short term more than it will in the longer term, right? So why don't we just go ahead and kind of let's keep an eye on the price action right now, because it is looking like it's creating some type of what's called like a dead cat bounce, right, guys? But that dead cat bounce is absolutely something that can be recovered. It has to play out a certain way right now, guys. But I mean, dumping out like this never does any good for the immediate short term as far as the oscillators are concerned, right? So if you take a look at a 5-minute time frame, this is where you're going to see immediate just a nosedive here, right? And what I am noticing too is that we are catching a bit of volatility extension. So if this volatility continues to move towards that upside with a downside, well, that would include here that we would essentially come back down to those areas right down there. So if that is the case, guys, then let's go ahead and start to kind of plot this out and find out just how low the price action can reach before we can find a some type of a floor here, because we did essentially recover. I mean, that was a lot of recovery from that shock in price action. The next thing that we would have to kind of keep an eye on is actually for the crypto summit tomorrow, right, guys? For Friday. And there is potentials of all kinds of things being mentioned. Also, some of the crypto, some of the more knowledgeable crypto people inside of the Discord for Arca trading, they have also been talking about the potentials of, the ending of the whole litigation here within XRP. So could that be something that's coming up? Maybe so, guys. Could it be that this is the shakeout before we could continue towards higher highs? Yeah, probably. Usually when you experience immediate downfalls like these are not really that permanent all the time. They tend to recover. They tend to recover, right? Like, for example, this enormous, we were trading in here in this area here, right? And then we exploded to the upside, but then look what happened, right? It's kind of, if you just kind of get rid of this here, it looks like we just never, this would have been still the traditional trajectory this whole way, just without this. See what I mean? So these things correct and they come back to the mean, and then they do their thing, right? So that's what I mean here. These immediate reactions are not always the best and not always the ones that you want to follow here for long term. So what I'm saying here is that, yeah, this thing could actually zigzag here, jiggle, jaggle, or whatever, and then eventually it'll probably come right back into this area here and start continuing on its merry way to the top. Now, yesterday we were talking about an ascending triangle where we pointed out these three targets here as a higher probability target zone for us to reach. And luckily enough for us, right, guys, we were able to benefit from that exact 50% between this target and this target. So congratulations to those who were able to pick up some position there. I know that it seems a little weird here, guys, but yeah, I do have some day traders within XRP, but don't get it wrong. These are day traders of XRP, so they could be able to trade and get more XRP for their long-term bags, right, guys? So they trade XRP, get some more bags, get some more money, right, and then buy more long-term XRP and then do it over again, right? Rinse and repeat. So I am able to teach that kind of stuff, which, by the way, guys, I'm officially mentioning now that I am opening the signups here, the enrollment for the beginners charting and mentorship program. Okay, guys, this is the mentorship that I actually go through. You would be track number 8 now, guys. You would be part of now over 300 master students that I've mentored. Okay, guys, so make sure to reach me at that arcabulls at gmail. Actually, you know what? Let's do a Arca Masters course at gmail.com so we can get you guys your pertinent information, right, guys? Like the syllabus, the disclaimer, and all that good stuff. ArcMastersCourse at Gmail. Reach out, guys, before the seats are taken. I want to make sure that you guys are in there. We're looking at starting here in a few weeks. Okay, good deal. Now, so price action, right? Let's make the math out of it. Let's see how much downside we have, how much downside we don't have. This is what we're gonna do. Let's pull up volatility versus momentum here, right? In the 10-minute time frame, even in the 5-minute, screw it. We're gonna see what's up. Okay, so remember your linear volatility on top, right? What you want to look at this as is kind of like your acceleration or deceleration in the car, right? Your gas pedal. So if you're gassing it, that means that you're increasing speed, right? You're thrusting towards wherever you're going, right? So this would be upside. Expansion would be the acceleration, and deceleration would be the contraction phase. Notice here on a 10-minute time frame that we're actually kind of contracting, right? And we're not to mention this either, but we're contracting with a downside. So that should tell you that we're decelerating with the downside. So interesting there. I see that we do have a downside pivot on that 10-minute time frame. All good, right? And then also know for a fact that volatility is a little more sensitive to the downside than to the upside. Okay, guys, that's how we are able to. Actually, that's one of the metrics that I'm using here for the for the Omega 1, guys, for the Omega 1 strategy, which, by the way, get your freaking link right up there for those of you who are going to get this, guys. This has been about 2 or 3 days of trading here, and it's gathered $1,300 on a $7,000 account, short bias. This is the protector, guys. This is the protector against your Alpha LITE, just in case you didn't know or get the news just yesterday. This is Omega 1, and for those of you who get the early access, are going to get access to the Omega 1. So Omega LITE is the one that I'm going to be giving to you first, guys. That's the first release. And you will also have access for 5 days to Omega 1. And you'll let me know how the automated trading system works on that or not, right, guys? So far, so good on the green on these plays, right? But that's what I was telling you here on this chart. This one here. I was telling you that that's how the Omega 1 is using some of that downside bias, is that it's measuring the weight of volatility towards the downside versus the upside, which is a little more sensitive towards the downside. In this case, let's see that if we have the continuation, right? So 15-minute time frame on this is not really strong towards that downside. However, we are closing this bar here in around 1 minute and 38 seconds, which would, that would actually impair or affect, in a sense here, the stochastic momentum indicator. Next thing we want to see is the 30-minute time frame, and the 30-minute time frame is closing in 1 minute as well. So yeah, this looks like it could continue towards the downside. How far though? Let's see where the next upside pivot would be. Continuing downside on the hourly time frame, all good. Continuing on the 2-3 hour downs, almost there. We need an upside pivot on this to complete the entire downside. Okay, almost there. Oh my goodness, there we go. Okay, so it would actually be about 2 days of downside, right? So if we're looking at 2 days of downside, that would be from the opening of this bar, 33 cents down, right? So 33 cents down, 5,432, right? You're looking at around $2.17 to the downside on this. Now, why would that be at all like what is it right here, right? Let's go ahead and just kind of mark that 217 off right down here. Well, that's kind of a zone that we've pointed out before, right, guys? And that zone is actually part of a larger time frame, right? So I want to just go ahead and take a look at a couple of those large zones and take a look at the 217 and relevant to it, right? So this right here would be that zone here, right? So right around this area here, right? So what this is, guys, is just simply the 50% of your prior monthly bar. Now we did start there, we did start there near it was 216 here. Now it is okay for us to come back down and validate, right? Because if we did, I'm not saying that we are, if we did come back to the 217 zone, that means that we might as well just touch down in the areas around these targets here. Okay, so I'm just going to be as clean as I can, as transparent as I can be, so that you can pick up some opportunity here. It would be anywhere between the targets of 207.44 to 214.46 before this thing experiences an upside continuation. That's only if we actually get to have that downside there. Okay, guys? I'd say, the chances here are they're 50-50, guys. Remember, the crypto summit is starting tomorrow. That might as well just completely invalidate the downside on XRP and have this thing continue towards its upper bound. right? Because this is not doing so bad. You know, this immediate short term is not doing so bad, right? It's starting to shift towards a potential upside here. I know that I'm seeming like a little bit of a little like a permabull here, but I'm gonna be real. I'm just gonna show you what I see. If this thing invalidates the downside continuation here, guys, that means that your 5-minute time frame would essentially use this volatility run alongside the 10-minute time frame critical volatility up here and just create a little bit of a higher low here and then continue towards the recovery. That's the second option here, but that would be completely at the mercy of the immediate short term. Okay, guys? I'm not going to go ahead. I'm not going to tell you right now what it's going to do, guys. Everything that, guys, the thing that's happening tomorrow, is not going to be part of like technicals like this, right? We can't read the chart like we do normally because of what's happening psychologically into tomorrow. Okay, guys, we cannot do that. All right, so if anything, you know where to reach me. Make sure to get that algo, guys, and make sure to get yourselves enrolled into the Arc Masters course. Until then, I think this is a pretty good place to leave off, and we shall talk very soon. Okay, team. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever, ever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very good rest of your night and or day, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team.